The most important thing is to start to do it. Most of the people, and also me, most of the time, I was planning and planning and planning, and it never fits. Welcome, good to have you here in my fasting challenge. Today I start with fasting because I want to stop it before Christmas so that I can eat with my family on Christmas and that it fits with my plan to fast 40 days. Therefore, I start now at the beginning of November. It is also important to end fasting about 1 week before Christmas so that you don't go from fasting to eating too much. That means from 0 to 100, that's too fast. Therefore, you need a week or minimum 4 days in which you can start to eat slowly and very light food. But I will let you know this at the end. I fasted like this several times. The very first time when I fasted was just 5 or 6 days or so. And I can also recommend it when you have never fasted before. So first start with maximum 1 week. But the second time I directly started for 20 days. But this was just because I did it together with a friend and she had lots of experience with fasting. And therefore, I had the courage to do it for 20 days. Then directly at the second time, I felt very safe with her to do it together. And I also had exchange every day to talk with her about problems during fasting also. But if you don't have anyone, no problem. Therefore, I will do this challenge and I will let you know that I'm also doing it alone this time. And I also fasted alone for 43 days this year in the beginning. That means it was around January, February, where I fasted for 43 days. And now I'd like to do it again. I think it feels right now. I don't do it for my weight or for having any advantages for the body. This is just a by effect for me. The main core why I'm fasting and why I also recommend it here on this channel is to gain your meditation process. As I said earlier in the video about my top 5 ascetic exercises, the link of it you can find down below in the video description. In this video, I also said that fasting really helps for meditation, and this was also my experience in the past, and this is again and again. And here now I will tell you some tips while fasting, while starting fasting, during fasting, at the end of fasting, and also tips for problems when you have, for example, circulation problems like swindle or so. But I will come to this directly when I have the problems, when they appear. Then I will take a video directly in the here and now, in the moment, and tell you the problems and tell you what to do then. And so you can also benefit one by one at the same time. Today is my very first day. And therefore, I'd like to share just some basic stuff with you for what is important when starting with fasting. The most important thing is to start to do it. Most of the people, and also me, most of the time, I was planning and planning and planning, and it never fits. It was so like I wanted to fast, and then, oh no, it's not the right time. I have too much work, or oh no, it's not the right time. I have another thing and whatever. But the thing is, do it once. And when you start, better to do it when you have work. For the very first time, this is okay. Even when people with fasting experience say to you, it is better to do it in holidays or vacations, whatever. But in my opinion, and from my experience, it is very hard. The very first time when I did it, the 5 days just were in holidays. And that was so hard because when you sit at home and you don't have to do anything, and you also are considering, oh, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, and this is so hard. You can do it later this way, and to learn to bear the hunger will also gain your meditation process and your self-development. But this is too hard for the very first time. This is a big burden which destroys your fasting process when you have too much time to consider. So therefore, I really can recommend it when you do it the very first time or the second time or so. Do it when you have something to do. when you are working, when you are studying, when you have enough to do. And that's the best start, when you then start with fasting, so you don't consider all the time about hunger and other problems about fasting. The next thing is, when you do it the first time and it is just 1 week or so, you can just drink water if you are fine with that. But also a big problem is the very first time that water could be very boring, especially when you do it in the holidays, but so better not to do. You can change with drinking. So that means you don't have to stop going for shopping for food, but instead shopping for food, you now go for shopping for drinks. You buy several teas. If you just have 2 or 3 sorts of tea in your kitchen, it's not so good. Go in a good store, buy a few teas for you. Also expensive teas like organic teas or so, that you have more motivation to drink it because you don't have anything to eat and you need more motivation for fasting. And for the very first times, it's good you have several teas so that you can choose every time, oh, now I want this tea and the next time I take this tea. And so this is they're not so boring when you have just water. But for some people also, water is okay, it's not that bad. But if you fast in long term, if it is not your very first time and you want to fast 20 days, 30 days, 40, whatever, then you should drink other stuff too, not just water, because after 1 week or so, you will get problems with your circulation, and therefore better to drink tea with little sugar. Sugar in this case, when you are fasting, sugar is not that bad. The body needs little carbohydrates for the circulation, and also it needs salt. A clear soup. Some of those are in the form of the small dices, but don't take any soup, not soup with vegetables in it or other stuff. This is not fasting then. Here we talk about pure fasting. That means really eating nothing, not even a small piece. So therefore clear soup, but the point is that in the clear soup, in most of them is also salt included. There are also some without salt. I bought some of them by an accident, was not planned. I actually wanted clear soup with salt, but you can also add salt on your own when you take a wrong from the shop or so, And another thing is, if, for example, in your country now is summer or so, and you say tea is too hot, but I also want a little sugar to get some carbohydrates to make your circulation stable. In this case, you can also drink juice. You can choose whatever juice you like. I also mix it up every day. I will go more into it in the next video, and I will give further tips about drinking and changing the drinks, changing the salt, so that it will never become boring for you. But for the first time, I think it is enough to know about you have enough at home. And yes, you can additionally buy some organic stuff, because fasting is a cleaning process. And in this case, it's not so good to drink, kind of dirty stuff. So better to take organic if you can, and if you like. And if not, it's not wrong. You can also take non-organic stuff, so no problem. Just focus the first days now on water, sparkling or not, whatever you like, tea with sugar or not, whatever you like, clear soup, and juice. I think for the first days, this is enough. And I will let you know about further ideas from my own experience from the past. And maybe I find another thing this time while fasting. I don't know. We will see. If you also like to fast now and start with me together, you are very welcome. You can also write questions down below in the comments. And especially if you don't have any friend or anyone with which you can fast together, that he or she can motivate you and help you. In this case, it is also good to follow these videos and to fast, in this case, with me together. I invite you, if you like. If not, I also present other videos about other stuff. The next time, it's not that I, from now beginning, just show fasting videos. I change it a little bit. Fasting video is just every few times. It's not every time. So we mix it up. We will have fun. We will have changes. We will increase our self-development together, and we will have a good life. See you next time. Bye.